wise man once told me, the less you give a fuck, the happier you'll be in life. What's up, everybody? It's another week, another day, another live event here with your host. I'm Mike Maccabee, coming at you from Miami, coming in hot to teach you guys some more about commercial real estate on this beautiful, lovely Friday afternoon. So the name of today's topic that we decided to talk about after getting some feedback from a lot of you guys that wanted to learn more about our company, what I do, how we do it, our program, MTIPU, which we're promoting, and hopefully you guys got a chance to see last week's live event. It's also up on my Instagram, YouTube page, and website. Michael Maccabee is the handle for those of you guys who don't know. But quickly, we're going to be talking about our system, our prospecting system. I'm going to really dive in, really deep into the apps that we use, the method and the exact system of how we get to the level of success that we have. This took me really over the course of 15 years to get to the state where I'm going to be divulging you all of my trade secrets, if not pretty much everything. Yeah, everything that I do when it comes to prospecting, from where I get my leads, to how I break up my leads, to how I broadcast my leads, to how I generate all my deals. This is the topic of the discussion today. It's my proprietary system, and hopefully you guys will catch on to what's happening here and want to learn more. If you guys have any questions that you guys want me to answer, I know a lot of you guys had questions last session. I wasn't able to answer. I'm definitely going to be paying attention this time, and feel free to chime in, and I will do my best to be able to answer your questions towards the end, if not as we go. All right, so here goes nothing. So a little quick background of who I am. For those of you who don't know, my name is Michael Maccabee. I'm the founder of MTIP Commercial Real Estate. It's a commercial brokerage that I opened up a couple of years back with the sole effort of trying to build an ecosystem, a system that will allow anybody that's looking to invest, whether you're a beginner or an expert, you want to invest in commercial real estate and find off-market deals anywhere in the country, then I am here to help you get ahead in that business through our platform. I have a serious record of closing and syndicating a good chunk of deals. I've made very good money for myself. I'm very content where I'm at in my life. I'll mention this time and time again. I'm doing this because I have a goal, a very specific goal. I'm trying to reach 100 candidates out there that are really looking to grow with me. And the first 100 that show me the most rigorous hunger, those are the guys I'm going to end up doing all my deals with. Those are the guys that will grow with me. So if you're one of them, reach out to me. So to dive in, what we do, how we do it, everybody knows that the concept of what a lead is, but not everybody understands how to generate a lead. Where do you go to get a lead? Once you get a lead, what do you do with that lead? And so for us, when I first started again 15, 16 years ago, I didn't have any leads. I was a real estate agent walking the streets, door knocking, door to door, and that was what I was told to be the only method to try to get that business. Today, 2019, jumping forward, we're at a whole different level. And so instead of explaining what not to do, I'm going to really focus on what we do, which is really 2 or 3 primary sources of outreach. We do not focus on outbound leads. We focus on inbound leads, bringing in business. And so to create inbound leads, we use two primary sources, if not three, of means of marketing. SMS, meaning text messages, text message marketing. And the second is RVMs, which are ringless voicemails. And then we have number three, a system called Agent Legend, which I'll talk about. And that helps us do the follow-ups or the drip marketing, which we're going to discuss as well. So what does it take to generate your own leads? Most people don't realize what that means. And I'm going to go into further detail about it financially and break down the cost analysis of what that means. But you're going to need time. You're going to need money. You're going to need a system. And at the end of having all of this perfect situation, there are still no guarantees that you're going to make any money. So the only guarantee I can tell you is this: numbers don't lie. And I've been doing this long enough. And if you've spoken to any business owner, anybody that's been a salesperson, anybody out there hustling and grinding, trying to make an income for themselves and for their company, you'll see that it's a numbers game. Sales, marketing, numbers. So what's the difference between what I'm doing and what everyone else is doing out there? Most people out there are either generating leads through sweat equity, which means they're putting in their time and they're door knocking. They're trying to call from whatever list they can get their hands off. They're buying lists, generic lists. In my case, we're in real estate. In our specific industry, we're in commercial real estate. Numbers don't exist. Like most of these owners, they're owned by LLCs and corporations. So if you even wanted to farm out an area, a specific area, anywhere in the country, let's say you're a realtor, let's say you're an investor, you're trying to hone in on multifamily properties, 20 units above in northern, Miami. You're going to get a chunk, some kind of number of properties. And then the worst part about it is you're going to have to research each and every single one of these properties unless you pay a third-party service, which is what we do, to gather that information. And then even the information you're going to buy, you physically bought, you don't know if that's accurate. So, pulling lists is a job in itself. Finding or sourcing your leads it's a very complicated thing to do as it is. So I'm going to give you a solution to what we do to streamline that process for you. The alternative to that is you buy leads. Buy leads, people that are interested in your product, in your service, and just get ahead that way. I believe in buying leads because the old way, the snail way of doing it, costs so much more money. And people just don't know the math because they never sat down to break it down for themselves. But your time is worth so much more than the capital spent generating marketing dollars to get that lead indoor into you for you to be able to close on that business and make a tremendous income for yourself. So we're going to be emphasizing that. There's a couple companies out there on the residential side. There's Zillow.com. They do $1.3 billion a year in selling leads. Realtor.com following behind it. They do about $500 million selling leads. Two reputable companies, haven't been around for that long. They're making a lot of money. I know people out there, brokers out there, they're buying buyer leads. By the way, these two companies, they sell about 5% of their leads that they supply. They sell are seller leads, or property owners that are looking to sell. The mass majority of the leads that they're selling are what we call buyer leads. People looking to buy real estate. So if you're a real estate investor out there, guess what? Zillow and Realtor can't help you. There's actually no actual solution out there that exists that can help you generate seller leads on a streamlined level in the commercial real estate industry today. There are none. I've checked it out. Nobody provides owner contact seller leads for you to be able to facilitate a transaction on readily available. So what we did, MTIP, this company, this small little nimble group of guerrilla warriors here, what we've done is we've spent countless years, God knows how much money, to really take into the system and to build something that's streamlined, that takes a nobody. Really, I can go into any market and I don't know a certain market, and I can get to know everybody in that market almost overnight in one day. And it's not that I'm going to be going out to them, they're going to be coming to me. And so that's what we've developed, and I'm going to break down exactly the softwares, the applications we use to help me get this amazing advantage. Now, bear in mind, one other thing you need to keep in mind is that these leads you're buying, you're competing against. There are other people that are going to be also trying to buy these leads that are out there from these Zillows and these Realtor.coms. And in our business, we don't compete. We go after off-market real estate. People that weren't particularly looking to sell, but now may have shared an interest in selling. And that's our primary focus. So above me, hopefully you'll be able to see it again. We got a clear visual, but these are the specific, the very, very, very specific apps and websites and metrics and whatever you want to call it that we use to facilitate these inbound leads, to get these leads, to generate these deals and to close on them, to make money. And the first one we're going to talk about, I'm going to go from the top down, is a company that I adore, think they're amazing, they're innovative, they're super genius. It's called RiriMe.com. Write this down if you don't know it yet. REONOMY, RiriMe. Okay? Richard Sarkis is the CEO of that company. He's a great guy. He built a great team and an amazing company. They are a data provider for commercial real estate information. They have the sickest platform. I won't lie, it's not cheap. For those of you who are cheap, you might think it's a lot of money. For me, I think it's free, it's a steal. Richard, I still want my rates, but it's an amazing tool. We're going to talk about that. The next thing on the list is something called Concatenation or a macro. So this part is proprietary. This took me a lot of time to figure out, but we have our super geeks in-house that we then take the information we get from RiriMe and we do something called summarizing, concatenating. We're going to talk about that, and that's a really, really critical step in our process. The third thing on the list is Avocado. So like avocado, but Avocado, another great company, couple years old. We use them to blast SMS messages out to cold leads. Avocado's really been a game changer for me. I've interviewed a bunch of companies until I came across this particular one. They're based out of San Francisco, I believe. RiriMe, by the way, is based out of New York, for those of you who care. They're nimble enough, this company, to get what we wanted to be able to get done. They have a robust platform, which we've built APIs, these integrations through all of these systems with, and they're very, very invaluable tool. The third thing that we use is called Stratix Network. Stratix Network is another company that actually offers what we call RVMs, ringless voicemails. Ringless voicemails, for those of you who don't understand, I'm sure everybody knows what an SMS is, a text message. RVM, a ringless voicemail, is when your phone rings, then cuts out, and a voice recording that was pre-recorded gets dropped into your voicemail box. And it's as if someone called you, you didn't speak to anybody, and you immediately got a voicemail. This is a really, really, really powerful tool that we use. It really eliminates the fact that I don't need any manpower to facilitate what we call cold calling anymore. We don't do any of that. I haven't done it for years because of the account of this amazing technology. So StratixNetwork.com is another company. So we have Avocado.com, StratixNetwork.com, RiriMe.com. The fifth thing down the list is called Follow Up Boss. Follow Up Boss is my proprietary, currently using CRM. There's a cajillion CRMs out there. Salesforce, Highrise, Podio, this one, that one, there's a million, okay? Bear in mind, I've spent countless hours with my team to isolate and find the one that is really geared or catered to what we're trying to do, which is commercial real estate. And there's really nothing out there that's simple enough where an old timer, someone that's maybe 50, 60 years old, 70 years old, doesn't know much about the computer, can be able to actually utilize in a simple and functional way for them to get ahead in their career at the later stage. Not to mention someone younger just coming into it, he'll be like streamlined or she'll be streamlined into a system really, really rapidly. Follow-up Boss is our core, is our head, is where we do everything in our business as far as contacting and touching our leads. Last but not least, we use a company called Agent Legend. Agent Legend is another third-party source for automated follow-up drip marketing. It's a game changer. It has literally eliminated the need for human beings to perform follow-up. So that means, assuming you got someone interested and you got their information, and you did all this work, there is still going to be this uphill battle, maybe a little less stringent, but still uphill, to get that deal across the finish line, which requires a ton of follow-up. And those of you guys, again, who are in sales know this. If you do not follow up with a deal, there is no deal. So Agent Legend is critical. It's extremely helpful, and we're going to talk about that too. So those are the 6 tools that we use daily for our prospecting needs on a national level. And I am so glad that I'm offering this to you guys, for you guys to see, to learn about, and I'm very excited to explain what's next. So, talking about where do I get my leads from? RiriMe.com, I said, is where I source my property records, my property owner contact information. Now, I've paid many companies to get information, and regretfully, throughout my history, data, when you're buying bulk raw data, you're going to get a lot of crummy information, inaccurate information that requires, a bunch of filtering through to get to the source of what's actually good data. RiriMe, for the cost, which we're going to talk about in a second, it provides a very good source of information for who the owner is, meaning if it's an LLC, they'll tell you who's behind that LLC. They'll give you their phone number. They'll give you their cell phone potentially as well, and they'll give you their email address, as well as their tax mailing address, which is where they pay their property taxes. So basically, you can, using RiriMe, you get a bunch of simple, basic, what we call title basic information, which you can get from a county assessor, really for free, how much they pay in taxes, how big the building is, the lot size, the zoning, the basics, what we call it in the business. You can get that. But the real juice is the contact information, which they have. They also have a great source for comping. They give sales history, what it's sold for, when it's sold at, who was the buyer, who's the seller, what the debt is. So it's a lot more than what I'm just explaining. We're going to go into detail about that too. Their service today, as of October of 2019, and I just finished a conversation with their rep, is $600 a month, or $7,200 a year. So that's a capital investment for one user today, right now. We buy bulk memberships because we have a larger team, and I get discounted rates. And so whoever joins my organization, our team, via the MTIP University as a starting point, and wants to get onboarded, they're going to get that value just by joining my team. They're going to get discounted pricing. Our pricing is $400 a user, so it's about 30-something% off, so you get that benefit. So what does RiriMe look like? I have a little snapshot for you guys to take a look at it, but basically you have a giant map that allows you to search through multiple filters, and when you click on a particular parcel or record, you can view that record, and the image on top kind of shows you a glimpse of it, but really, the beauty of RiriMe is the fact that you can utilize their search fields, and they have so many. I think they have like 300 search fields. From, the building size and lot size, the year it was built, when it was renovated, if it's a part of the opportunity zone that Trump created for all of the low-income neighborhoods out there, the acreage size, the zoning, all that good stuff. You have, like I said, the sales record of it, when it was sold, if it was part of multiple parcels. You can search by when it was the most recent sale prices by foot, by land. You have debt, like I mentioned, and hopefully you're visually being able to see all this stuff, but these are the type of searches. The other great part of RiriMe is it summarizes asset groups and classes. So RiriMe uses, and by the way, their national site, they only use commercial, non-residential real estate on their platform. So if you're trying to look for homes, this is not going to be the site to do that. Also, I'm not the guy to teach you about it because that's not my business, and I really feel sad for you if it's yours. Get out of residential real estate. It's a loser. Get into commercial real estate, change your life. Upgrade yourself. So with that being said, what's beautiful about their classifications, they break things down to commercial, industrial, multifamily, special purpose, vacant land, which includes residential vacant land, and just anything else under the sun. And they quantify, if you zoom in the map or if you use a zip code or a city for a region or even draw on their map, they'll give you an exact count of how many parcels exist for that specific type of property use. Like in the example above, it was on a national level. It says there are 38,000 hotels and 1,400 hotel condominiums as an example. And fast food restaurants, there's 56,000. So it's good to know these quantifiable numbers because most of you out there, most of us, I didn't know this information before RiriMe. So for me, when I walk into any business, I want to know what my market is. And what that means to me is, what is the real estate around me? How much real estate's covered in that region? So I didn't have that opportunity prior to using RiriMe. So it's great tool, great asset to use. This is an example, a visual of a map search we did for specific zip codes. These zip codes gave us a bunch of records. The records, here's an example of what their ownership information looks like. Gives the guy's name, their number, their email, and if there's another version of it or variant, you'll get that too. So how does this relate to extracted? You can't just sit there and do this thing one at a time. So RiriMe lets you mass bulk, after you filtered your search, they let you export exactly precisely your end result list. So if you went into Miami-Dade County, and then you went into multifamily, then you went 50 units or above, and then you went to hasn't sold in the last 10 years as a search filter, you can then export that list into a CSV with the contact information. Generally, depending on your range, you're looking at a 30 to 50 cent per record cost. And if you go more volume, you can get cheaper pricing. But that's generally what you're looking at per cost of per property export. So for 10,000 properties, you're looking at probably somewhere around like $500. 10,000 properties is about $5,000. $5,000 to export those leads. Should you want to do that? In your account for the $600 or so, I think the $7,200 you start with, you get a certain amount of exports. But if you want more, you just got to buy more user accounts. And we buy in bulk. We probably buy over a couple 100,000 of these exports a year for our searches internally. And we use those hyper-defined searches to go after targeted property on a national level. So that's how I source my deals. That's how I find the owner contact information in a jiffy. I don't spend time researching. I don't even think about it. I just use this amazing resource that I've now divulged to you. But what do you do after you get this amazing CSV? You then need to do the second step, which we call is concatenation. Concatenation is a consolidation, basically. So our geeks, our formulators, take this CSV that we created, which, by the way, for every one property that you export, you're going to get a minimum of 3 potential contacts. 3 different names or the same name, doesn't make a difference, in a column, in the CSV, and each contact will have at least up to three, phone numbers associated to it. So for one building, you can have 9 different phone numbers potentially associated as a record. So that's a lot of information, even for a salesperson. Just sit there and try on a spreadsheet to call one at a time. And so what we did is we consolidated that information through this macro that our geniuses built. That's one of the things we do. We also consolidate like-owned property. So if one guy owns 50 buildings in the same area, why call that guy 50 times? Why text him 50 times? Why send 50 letters to him or postcards? We send one letter, one call, one text for all 50 assets. So a part of that amazing concatenation is we've consolidated all like-owned properties, and that's a huge, huge marketing saver. I mean, we probably save 70 to 80% of what others would spend because of this formulation, which is invaluable. And that's something that if you join my company or organization, you're going to get as part of the team. So this is kind of what a demo of a spreadsheet looks like. These are what the columns look like. It's a lot of information, and it's not something that's fun to play with when you're looking at it visually as a salesperson. The next thing on the line, so now you have this amazing data, you put it into a concatenating file, you have this really cleaned up, tight-lit CSV formatted file. What do you do with it next? So now we actually format our campaigns. Like I said, we use RVM and text. We're talking now about Avocado. This is the company that does the text messages. This is what we use to blast all the leads that we first get when we're targeting a market. And this specifically is an example of the exact text that I actually broadcast out to a seller that you guys can now utilize. It says, pay attention. Hi there, my name is Mike with Broadbridge, which is the name of my fund. I'd like to acquire your commercial property located at, and it plugs in the exact address. So Avocado is probably one of the only companies out there that lets you put in custom tags or merge fields, which basically comes from the CSV that you exported from RiriMe, that you get to plug in here. So if you have 10,000 properties and you upload it into Avocado and you format it perfectly, which takes, by the way, a ton of time to figure out how to do, you can then plot it in, and when you send out the text messages, it will automatically plot in each person's address beautifully, as well as their APN, which stands for their assessor parcel number. So this person that you never spoke to before, this owner, is getting a hyper-specific text introducing our company and talking about their specific asset that we're interested. And then we ask them, hey buddy, are you interested in selling your asset? Direct to the fucking juice. No red tape, cut through it. And then we leave an option of kindly reply, right? Now this is a call to action, something that they have to do in order to interact with us. Press 1, the number 1 on your keypad, if yes, you're interested in selling. Press 2 if no, you're not interested in selling. And press 3 if we got the wrong Joe Blow, and thank God for that, now we don't even need to keep this person into our system. Day 1, when the lead gets funneled into Follow-Up Boss, it will immediately call the person with the ringless voicemail, it'll text the person with a message, and it will immediately email the person. So it's like air, land, and sea attack, you're getting after them, and then hopefully they respond. About, I would say 25% of the time, they do respond. So you get an immediate reaction. If they don't respond for whatever reason, right, they're still not interested, then we planned a drip campaign that happens every week, perpetually for the next 6 months of touching the person. So next week, we'll send them another email. The next week, we might send them another email. Maybe you can even, in this example, it's just emails, but you can also use text message and another voicemail. Every few weeks, you drop in a voicemail. So it looks like you're calling them. Hey, I'm just following up. How you doing? Good. Blah, blah, blah. And you engage the lead. So this basically eliminates, again, the need for a sales manager or a business owner to regulate a bunch of people to micromanage, because there's a system that'll just do the work for them. People today are fucking lazy. It's probably today and forever. They're always lazy. So I figured that out as a business owner a long time ago. I got tired of training, educating, and that's why I rely on systems. The fact that we have these brilliant programs, and I've invested a ton of capital to build into all of this, is really changed my career. This is the difference between really scaling a business and doing things the old-fashioned, fucked up way, which for those of you guys who are greedy, limited-minded, and undereducated, you're going to see the hard way that you can't beat technology. What a bot can do, what a human can do is nowhere close to what a bot can do. So once the interaction takes place from Agent Legend, it actually pushes whatever it is that you're broadcasting out to the person right back in to follow-up boss. So the experience doesn't even necessarily leave follow-up boss. You triggered so many leads that you had, cold leads that became warm leads, into follow-up boss. And then you're sitting there, you're a sales rep. Instead of dialing again, you just take a group of, let's say, 10 leads. You put a tag, which is what we call the trigger, to push that into follow-up, into Agent Legend. It immediately sends a campaign. It creates sparks, another reaction, and then the person responds. And they call you directly into your follow-up boss, and you share your dialogue, and you start the process of this beautiful process called prospecting in the most streamlined fashion. And now a salesperson can actually enjoy its profession. It's actually going to be talking to people that have an interest, they're having good conversations, and they're not blowing their day and your money jerking off talking to voicemails, people that are not the decision maker, or people that just don't care or are interested at the moment. So let me summarize this, okay? For those of you guys who are cheap or undereducated, I built this for you. Okay, let's assume right now you're currently making $120,000 a year. Or maybe you want to make $120,000 a year. That's $10,000 a month in income, okay? It's a lot of money. I don't care who the fuck you are. That's a lot of money. That's $333 approximately a day in income, okay? One day for you to sit there as a human being versus what I just explained and call and text, you're blowing $333 of your fucking time's worth of money, okay? If you're making $1 million a year, just extrapolate that. It's like $3,000 a day. So any human being, one person, you can't touch more than 50, maybe 100 people a day. You get one of these auto dialers to help you, 200, okay? But the reality is you're capped out by an individual. That's all you're going to get by one person. So your cost, right, that $330 a day, you divide that by the number of touches, the number of people you can actually contact, that 50 to 100, you're going to get to a cost of $3 to $6, $7 for every attempt that you make to make a phone call. There are companies, there are virtual assistants, there are call centers out there. You can contract and hire, you give them a list and they'll call. Bad idea, don't do it, I've done it. Just giving you fair warning. But that's the cost. Then you say, okay, if you go anywhere between 50 to 100 touches a week, a day, times 5 days a week, you're going to talk to or try to talk to 250 to 500 people a month. That 250 to 500 translates to 1 to 2,000 touches a month that you can talk to. That's one person that's making $10,000 or wants to make $10,000 a month. That's their cap. They can't touch more than 1,000 to 2,000 leads a month. Okay? Bear that in mind. Now, imagine you take that 1,000, 2,000, and you say you convert, you actually manage to talk to 10, 15% of these people and get them interested. Okay? That's 100 to 300 interested people that you want to engage with. From there, Zillow, by the way, gave me these numbers. 4% of you out there that are weak salespeople, that would be your conversion level. From the number of interested parties that you get as leads, you can convert 4% of them, if you're a shitty salesperson, into a deal. So at least you can generate 4 deals, potential deals that you can work on. And at most, if you're a top salesperson, it's 12% conversion rate. You can generate 36 potential deals. And then from there, wherever the cookie crumbles, falls, that's the number of deals you're going to close. And whatever that deal amount is, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, again, and residential, you're making small money. In commercial, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars per deal. Okay? So that's the number. Now imagine, now you're a business owner. You succeeded. You made this money. How do you scale this? How do you grow this? Not by introducing people, chasing after them, recruiting, hiring, training, by introducing systems. And that's exactly what we did here at MTIP. Okay? So anybody that wants to learn more about how we do this, okay, I want to let you guys know, give you guys a warm invitation, okay? Nobody in their right mind would divulge what I just divulged to you. Maybe a handful of people, if any, okay? This is the core essence of how I generate deals anywhere in the country, okay? I have money. I have this amazing machine. I can literally go into any market, boom, overnight, hit it, and get a bunch of leads. And I'm dying to offer those leads to people that want to work with me. okay? If you don't want to work with me, you think you're a know-it-all, you think you know better, I'm willing to do something even sweeter. I'm willing to sell you my leads, okay? So contact me, okay? The cost of these leads will vary based on where you're at, how many leads, how quickly you want it, etc., but I'm willing to offer this platform to you to get you involved and engaged, whatever it takes to just get you in the door so that you understand the value of commercial real estate and how it could change your life. You guys could be brokers out there, agents, anywhere in the country. You guys need leads. You guys are killing yourselves to try to get those leads. I can help you. I'm glad to help you. For those of you guys who are just starting in the business, you still need education. You still need to know what to say on the phone, how to engage the person. What do you do after you get that lead engaged? We're going to talk about that in the weeks to come. I'm going to dedicate the next several Fridays of my life to spend at least an hour of my time to share all this insightful, valuable information with you so that you can get ahead. And hopefully you see the value and you'll want to join. I'm looking for 100 hungry fighters anywhere. I don't care what your ethnicity is. Male, female, transgender, I don't care. If you have a desire, a hunger, and a motivation to succeed in life, making money, doing well for yourself physically, spiritually, for your family, to create generational wealth, I want to know who you are. This is why I'm here right now, on Friday, on my Shabbat, Shabbos. Okay? I want you guys to reach out to me. And now here's how you can work with me, okay? The university that we built, MTIPU.com, okay, that's MTIP, Make the Impossible Possible University.com, offers a spectrum of stuff, right? I'm going to give you guys a glimpse of my life story. I'm going to tell you guys, about specific case studies that we did, all these methods, and then some. Prospecting, like I just discussed. I'm going to talk about underwriting, how to evaluate a building, how to know if it's a good deal or a bad deal, how to negotiate, how to write offers, and then how to take that deal, syndicate it, and push it out there to the market to actually sell the real estate, okay? And actually gain an equitable stake in the deal, okay? These are things that we talk about in our platform, in our course. It's a starting place for you, okay? Who's this for? Anybody. If you're 17, 18 years old, I'd say would be the starting point as far as an age. But anybody, especially in the United States, this applies to anywhere, by the way, worldwide, anywhere. But those of you guys who are in the United States, this really applies to you because RiriMe is only a national platform. There might be sources for leads outside of that you can give me and I can help you generate those leads. But the other information we teach in the course really applies globally anywhere you are, okay? We're going to teach you all these different things. We're going to talk, if you want to see all the 40 topics that we talk about, head to mtipu.com. Okay? It's fractional compared to the cost of not learning or trying to learn yourself. Okay? This is a huge way to get ahead, fast way to get ahead, and a cheap, affordable way to do it. Okay? So, again, I'm willing to give you guys one more chance. A lot of you guys did this last week. I thank you. I'm telling you guys again, even though you're signing up, even though you're spending money, it's not enough. I want to know who's hungry. So I'm going to give you guys a chance. Those of you guys who couldn't afford it, I'm going to give you one more round right now. Type in MTIP Live this weekend, from now, this very second, till Sunday night. I'm going to give you guys another $250 off the course, okay? The course it's either $2,000 in 4 installments of $500, okay? For those of you guys who can't afford it up front, or it's $1,500. It's $1,500 measly dollars compared to a $20,000 college education where you leave it, you won't have anything for you, okay? It's $1,500 compared to the $100,000 you're trying to make that you won't because no one's there to hold your hand. And guess what, guys? If you graduate and you qualify with me, I will hold your hand. I will be there to help you grow in this business as partners. So, that being said, I thank you for spending your hour with me. I hope what I said was insightful and valuable, and I appreciate your time. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Content's only being pushed more and more, and I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so very much. Have an amazing weekend. Succeed in life.